Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And we're going to get right to it because I know everybody has time constraints that they need to make sure that they're taking care of their business while we're doing our business. So, first and foremost, I want to give a little lead in to what we're going to discuss today. So today we're going to talk about the borrowing and lending process, but we're going to talk about it as it relates to a particular program that we are working with the city of New Orleans, and Supply and Diversity has been instrumental in helping us get to a point where we can be of service to DBE contractors that are looking to participate in and win contracts with the city, um, not only the through different infrastructure projects where they're working as subs, but with the new set aside process that Supply and Diversity has spearheaded. So I'm going to introduce Newcorp. I don't know if everyone knows who Newcorp is, but we are a local CDFI. Now, CDFIs are community development financial institutions, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But we support community development by lending to small business and ensuring that small business has the opportunity to participate in in the economy in our city and state and beyond. Let me get us going here. Here we go. So, Newcorp was founded in 1995. Our mission is to promote equity through small business lending and community development. What that means is so many of our contractors have been left out of both the lending and the development process because they have not had access to the capital necessary to grow their business, to scale, or to even participate at some times. We are mission driven and we do our best to continue to help contractors um, uh, become available uh, and able to both pay for materials and labor as they try to participate in larger scaled contracts. Community development financial institutions provide financial services. They provide loans, banking, investments to low income and underserved communities. Now, our particular CDFI at Newcorp, we are a loan fund. So we don't do banking. You won't come into our office and see tellers. You will actually come into our office and see desks where we work with our clients and potential borrowers to help them to put together loan packages to get loans or receive capital, debt capital from us. We are designated by the U.S. Treasury. So we're a nonprofit, but the Treasury recognized us, and that's been such since 1994. And again, community development is our goal. So we are promoting economic development. We are promoting affordable houses and community services in distressed areas. So we do our best to focus on that group, and we know clientele is. So we continue to focus on that clientele even through these tumultuous times. Now, as we promote equity through small business lending, we do many different things. So we do microloans. We do microloans, and those microloans are for small businesses that are looking to start up. So new businesses and new business ventures that have not hit the ground yet. And we promote lending to businesses that are trying to grow. So as they're trying to increase their capacity or expand, we are trying to be there for them as they move forward. So we also want women-owned and minority-owned businesses to be a focus. So that is why working with the City of New Orleans, a lot of our contractor programs and our small business programs, they serve minority-owned and women-owned businesses. That is not only That's not the only program that we have. We also work with the state on a program called SSBCI. It's the state-sponsored small business credit initiative that is particularly focused on small business ventures that are new or that need additional help because they're trying to grow and they have not yet met the threshold that some of our larger lenders may require or traditional lenders may require to get funding. Okay. Now, we are a loan a lender. So we're a loan service. We give out debt. It is important for small businesses to understand their business model. What is it that they need? Not everybody needs to take on debt initially. Sometimes uh, the debt that is created can hamstring or can affect a company negatively. Maybe they're not ready for debt because their revenue is a little low or their net income can't support the repayment. It's our job as a mission-driven lender to ensure we sit with you and make sure we outline what our funding requirements are, where the capital comes from, and what we need in order to get financing in your hands. Now, it just because we are mission driven and we're CBFI, it doesn't mean that we're a grant organization. So repayment is important. We just try to customize our financing products so that pre-loan we can have a relationship with our clients that helps us help them understand what position they're in, how they can better position themselves for this type of financing, and to ensure that their business is going to grow and not contract because of the lending that we're doing. We also ensure that we walk through the process and program with them to find out if it's where they need to be. We don't want to commit what we call here lender malpractice, where we're going to give loans to entities or to small businesses that aren't ready for them. And when we give those loans out, we're simply making it harder for that small business to grow and to perform. We're trying to customize these products so that they're essential for growth and capacity building instead of being problematic for the small business. We're doing everything that we can and working with all of our partners to ensure that we're putting DBEs, minority businesses, our BIPOC community, and women-owned businesses in the best position to compete and to survive even through tumultuous times. So if we can go through the access of the pros and cons, if we can go through the obligations, if we can develop a detailed plan, if we can do all of those things, it's going to be very helpful to the businesses instead of harming or putting them in a position that they're not prepared for. Now, let's talk about business plans. Business plans are essential, even in contractors with contracts. In those situations, and if we're talking about contracting specifically, the business plan is not always for the full and complete direction of the business. What we want to know, and what lenders want to know, we want to know exactly what you're going to do on this particular project. What's the schedule going to look like? What your purchases are going to need to be? What type of labor is going to be necessary for you to perform and continue the the work that needs to be done so that you're able to do your best uh, your best job and to be able to prepare yourself for the next project. Um, you see on the screen market demand, sales strategy, those things are not going to be exactly tailored to this particular project. What will happen in those instances is that for project-based lending, such as Bill Nola, that we're going to be working through with a lot of subcontractors, the demand and the sales that's already been taken care of. We're looking at the service description, what we're going to be doing and what you're going to be doing, the scheduling instead of the market demand. We're looking at the scheduling of the program of the project, ensuring you know exactly where you're going to be and how you're going to perform, and the financial projections and operation details. Who's going to be in charge, who you're gonna be reporting to, and what do you think your financial projections will be? How much money is in the contract, what your um, your labor and materials costs will be, and any additional costs that you will need, so we can ensure and help that this is going to be a profitable project that we're going to be able to get paid. We're going to be able to get paid back on as you move through the program. We do, even in this situation, we will look at your financial statements and tax returns. Okay. Those are profit and loss statements. It says the last 3 years and year to date. If you haven't been open the last 3 years, those are as many years as you have been there. Profit and loss statements, balance sheets, the same thing. It's going to provide a comprehensive view of the business assets. What do you have? What equipment is on your books, and what money that you owe. For some of the projects, depending on where you are, we are going to look at business debt schedules and account receivables. What's already owed out there, who's in front of the loan that we're going to be issuing, and how many receivables are out there as well. Where are they, and where are they in the payment cycle? We do look at your personal returns. I know a lot of people talk about business credit. Business credit is something that began and tried to gain some traction, but it never really did in our ecosystem. What happened was, in our ecosystem, we still look for a personal guarantor. So even if you're a small business, your small business is guaranteed by yourself. So all of those all of those loans will have a guarantor on who's going to be able to repay it. So those are documents that we want to work with our clients on getting and handling in order to make sure that we're together and on point when the time comes to have to present them to either underwriting or loan committee so that they can know exactly where you are and what the status of the business is. Credit reports. Now, credit reports are important. It tells us a lot about uh, the person who runs the business, because your personal credit report is going to show how your business is going to operate. If we are not able to handle personal credit, business credit will be tough to handle as well. However, but if we are working with contractors that have contracts with either the city or contracts with the subcontracts working on municipal projects, we can go down to almost 575 on credit score, because we know that those contracts are backed by municipal payments that are going to come, and we're able to work through that with our client to use that as collateral to supply them with additional dollars, even if their credit scores may not be on fully on top of the 600 or 620 that we may ordinarily look for. It is very important to understand your credit report because when we look at it in three different situations. This is the analogy. Sometimes credit reports are on fire. Sometimes credit reports are smoking, and then sometimes credit reports are ash. If your credit's on fire and it may be below 600, that means you have things that are going on right now that need to be addressed. And if they're not addressed, it's going to be problematic. Okay. If the credit report is smoking, maybe those things are a year or two old, and you've gotten back on schedule, but something may have happened, divorce, medical issues, COVID, those types of things may have been an issue previously, and you're able to then you have been able to get back on track, but it's still affecting your report. And then ash is something that happened some time ago. It's over with. Now you're simply in a position to continue working towards building the credit up, and that's understandable. And we can work through that with you so that we can get you access to the dollars. Next, I want to talk about loan packaging, and I want to talk about it specifically with Bill Nola. So all of these things will be needed. Completed application that you can get directly from us. Again, remember we talked about the business plan. That business plan is going to be replaced by any contract or a schedule of how you're going to complete said contract with that will be submitted to us. Your financial statements will be necessary. We will look at tax returns, and we will look at if again the personal and business credit reports. Business credit reports won't be as important, but the personal credit reports will be something that we're going to take a look at to see where you're at, where you are in your individual credit history. And then the supporting documents. Supporting documents are such things like your DBE requirements, the agreement with your subcontractor or directly with the city. We're going to look at your good standing with the state or the city, and any additional relevant information that may be put together so that you're on track and um, in line to be able to do your best work. And we're going to be again a partner with you to get that done, not a hindrance for you as you're working through it. Now, I do want to talk. I want to talk here about the Bill Nola program specifically because our next slide is going to talk about the underwriting your your loan package. And when we go through that, I want to talk about the specific underwriting and review of a loan package with our Bill Nola program that will be specific to contractors and their ability to participate in infrastructure projects or in the set aside program. So you'll see here the application review, any interview we may need, a decision will be made, and and feedback will be given if denied. And denied is on there, but denial is not where we like to look at our applications. We like to look at them as really just not approved, meaning that it may not be approved as of yet, but there's going to be some things that may be able to be adjusted or addressed so that we can get back there for approval. So I want to take a little extra time to talk about this underwriting process through the particular program that would be available through projects with the city or uh, projects that are through the set aside program. So in this underwriting situation, through the program called the Build NOLA, what we are going to do is we are going to take the application. We're going to review any contract that may be available to you. And then, as we look at all of the ancillary documentation and information uh, that's provided, we will do an interview. That interview is going to be a conversation with our team to discuss your ability to perform the project and your needs to be capable of performance. We want to have all the information necessary so that we can work together in order to get uh, the the number or the dollars that are necessary to complete or move through the project itself. Now, the way it works is your contract amount, as an example, if you have a $100,000 contract with the city of Newark, that contract amount is what is going to be available to you uh, as a loan amount. If we're able to go through and understand your financials, and your repayment capacity and your credit score, we would like to use that as a project-based line of credit in this situation. So as a project-based line of credit, what we do is we lend based on your approved invoice amount. Now I know you go through BRAS with the city. You may go through a pay application um, submission process with other general contractors, and we like to be involved in that process because if you've completed $50,000 worth of work on a $100,000 contract, we like to ensure that what you're submitting is going to be proper and it's going to go through to whatever submission program is necessary. Be it if it's BRAS through the city, if it's the pay application process through with the subcontract, I mean with the general contract, we like to be involved and know, okay, this invoice is submitted for payment. We will then be able to review the pay application that you've submitted. And once it is approved by the city, once it is approved by your general contractor, it will be provided to us so that we are aware of that approval. If we're aware of that approval, we will then know that that money is approved and will be coming to you. It may not come for 60, 90, 120 days, but we know that it's coming. And with that, we will lend based on that approved invoice. We will lend you the dollars at a reasonable interest amount and not we will not own any invoices. So that is what takes us and makes us different from any factoring program or any predatory lending program. We are not trying to own your invoices or to attack your credibility or your contractor or the city. We want to work in tandem. We want to work as a partner. We want to get you the dollars that you have been approved for payment. We want to get those dollars in your hand as quickly as possible so you can continue moving forward with your project. But we want to do it again as a team so that we're sure that when those dollars are returned to you or are paid out, they will be paid back directly to Newcorp to satisfy that invoice. and then we'll move on to any other outstanding invoices you may have. So, in short, the invoice amount is what we're lending on. The approved invoice amount is what we're lending on, and we will be looking forward to receiving those dollars back to pay down the uh, uh, the advanced amount immediately once they come. Now, we were willing to wait. Again, we're willing to wait 60, 90 days if we have to, but we're willing to wait for it as long as we understand that the invoice has been approved and the dollars are available to you. Now, with that being said, we will allow you to continue to put in requests for capital as long as you continue to be in good standing and as long as the dollars that you have been paid are paid back to Newcorp. If you have two invoices outstanding at the same time, Newcorp will be available to fund both of those invoices at the same time. If you have three invoices available, as long as it's not above and outside the initial contract amount or any change orders that have been made, we are available to continue to fund you as long as the money comes back. We are we are in tandem with our team to ensure that it's going to be paid back and paid down. We simply want you to have the capacity to continue and complete the work that you're being availed of. It is a full customized program that works along with DBE subcontractors to get to in our best efforts to get those dollars into your hands and then get them replenished so you can go back and get more dollars when necessary. It's it's an important and a progressive loan fund that we are trying to get into the marketplace so that you will be able to avail yourself of those dollars and begin building a larger project because our goal is to consistently be there for you until we're not needed anymore. We're hoping that with this help, you're able to take your profits, build up your retained earnings, build up your bankroll and your savings amount so that you will eventually graduate from Newcorp and be able to get your own lines of credit or self-finance some of the smaller projects. That is our goal. Our goal is to build your capacity, and after the capacity is built, it is to graduate for us and push you out as successful and larger subcontractors and general contractors that can take on jobs that are larger than you have taken on before. And with that, you see our contact information that is up on the screen. That's our current address, our phone number, and that is the website.